Okay, here we go. Truth and accountability. That's what we're talking about. Truth and accountability. Okay. I was born in 1968, not yesterday. Okay, so uh, you know, I'm not going along with the norms anymore because I recognize how detrimental the norms are to the public. And what I mean by this is I experienced the evolution, even though it was passed down to us. I know we're behind on technology, but I experienced evolution before the cell phone, the electric cars, you know. But I've also experienced uh, brilliant minds inventing uh, things for the public that help the public, like, and I can't remember his name, which, but he had a car that ran on water, and we know, well, I know the government swooped in. And see, swooped in, they poisoned him. Before he died, come out the reservoir, he said, they poisoned me. He was under pressure by uh, the shadow intelligence, sponsored by the billionaire oligarchs ruling the world globally. And these oligarchs are interesting. I want to get back to them once I, look at my notes because I need to refresh my memory on. I think that the bloodline, this bloodline goes all the way back to when people was living 1,000 years and before it because of the multiple resets. But they have a specific bloodline. And I'm going to check, but I could swear I remember it. It was saying about 6 million of them. Okay, and this ties directly into 1918, where the Jews are talking about they were being persecuted back then. See, because they've been talking about this way before Hitler. The 30s and the World War II and the 40s. Okay, they was talking about this way before this, and I believe that ancient bloodline is. I believe they said it's 6 million. So I think if this is, they've been talking about this since 1891, about 6 million Jews being persecuted in one way or another, well before World War II. It's true. This connects a dot because I am thinking outside the norms. Okay, I'm not going along with what they taught me because I know that it's a lie, and I believe that people who believe liars are lying to themselves. So they're liars just as well because instead of them pushing back on a lie, they are going along with the lie. Okay, so how can you be trusted if you cannot stand on the truth? Okay, so this goes way back because I asked, I'm trying to find out, okay, because I'm thinking outside the norms, okay, and that's how I'm finding out what's really going on. So we have, Noah and all, I mean, they lived, damn near 1,000 years. And if they say they lived almost 1,000 years, they probably lived longer than that. And by just using common sense, yeah, I mean, 1,000 years. I mean, who narrated this? Who wrote this? Who was able to follow them for the whole 1,000 years? You understand what I'm saying? So it could have just been them. Okay, you're saying that they didn't write it. Okay, but I digress. That's getting out of bounds right now. But you go back, okay, and I was like, I think that these things have always been here. And I found out that they have these structures that showed not signs of primal intelligence. I'm talking about intelligent, structures. But we are led to believe, and notice I'm saying led because that's exactly what it is. We are led to believe one narrative, and this narrative is to do one thing and one thing only, is to control masses. It's for a small minority group to be able to control a mass amount of groups. Okay, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I saw this back in when I was watching some of the World War II, and I'm like, wow. I was like, yeah, because you have the Jewish people, they outnumbered the Nazis. That's why, they were getting betrayed by their own people, trying to survive. Okay? And they voluntarily walked right into a gas chamber. Just instead of turning around and just mobbing them, yes, there's going to be sacrifices, but it's better to do that than just walk into a gas chamber. It's better to do that than to dig your own grave just to be shot in the back of the head. And that's the mentality that I'm witnessing here in the United States. I see exactly what this administration is doing right now. When they're saying that, the tech giants, because before I was asleep like most people and just complying, I didn't pay attention to what's going on. I wouldn't do background checks, but I started to do background checks on the very people that's put up in front of us that are just handpicked to rule over us. And when I started doing the background checks on them, holy shit, the things that I found, and there's no way you would want this person to be in control of legislation, laws, and nuclear weapons, to where there's no way that you would want that. No way. And people are not doing that because everything's handpicked, and everything's a show. And you've been mind manipulated and propagandized into viewing things that way. Now everything you view, it has to be a show for you to be interested. If it's not a show, you're bored. This is definitely a spell, but people would say, "Oh, it's witchcraft." It's no. It really isn't. When you wake up, you see it's not witchcraft at all. It's just an indoctrination. It's just things that are being taught. They're being taught, and it's passed down. Passed down, passed down, passed down. Generation to generation to generation. Right now, if you want to question God, people will be looking at you crazy. But, hey, describe what God looks like to me. Go ahead, I'm waiting. And why are you so upset with me? Because I don't want to go along with what you're going along. I told you I already believe something, but that's not good enough for these so-called demons serving the demon churches. Because the majority of them, and anyone listening know it's true, the majority of them are evil that are conjuring there and on demon policies. And then the main demon disciple is just collecting, just sucking you idiots dry in a false, this false history. And people are just falling for it. Look, I understand back in the 20s, even before, I understand it was simpler. People were way more naive. But again, this spell has to be super strong for people not to wake up. And I am one of those people, okay, because I was waking up, but then I found out there's levels. When you think that you're awake, you're not. Okay, the awakening is continuous. It never stops. As long as you're breathing, it never stops. It never stops. And that's when I discovered, that's what they mean by people just setting away, because they stop learning. Therefore, they stop living and they're stuck in an era. Very simple to figure out. But maybe this was the best time for me to really wake up, because at 50, I can definitely see things way clearer using common sense. But first, I had to baptize myself in truth and accountability. I had to humble myself. I had to see the reflection in the mirror, my reflection in the mirror, and have humility. Okay? Truth and accountability is not you being perfect, because no one is perfect, because we're human. Truth and accountability is being in a high 90% of the truth and accountability. No, it does about 99%. That way, if the mind, the manipulative blob tries to drag you back down, you can catch yourself, because you're in the high 90s, not the 50s, not the 30s, where you easily influence back into the mind manipulated blob. So, and this is a craft. This is a craft that's taken me years. And the more I wait, the more I see, the more danger I see. People just blow off the recess because they're thinking in the norms. Hey, nothing has happened, nothing. Even though they brought down those 2 towers at 9/11. Kill people here. But no, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. And then, but see, while everybody was sleeping and forgot about it, I was still investigating it. And I found out that our own government and some other foreign entities was involved. And they were willing to sacrifice American blood, just like they did the USS Liberty, and I think 1963.
The USS Liberty attack was in 1967, not 1963.
To start a war, to make it seem like the USS Liberty was sunk, I think by Egypt or something to where we had to get into a conflict, and they were willing to kill all those seamen. They were willing to kill all of them, but they couldn't get them all. And
the ship wasn't sunk, but it was badly battered. A lot of souls were lost. Even some of the survivors in the water were getting straight. So they did not want this secret out to the masses. And so, fortunately, those survivors were able to lift the veil of lies, steering the people in a direction, in a false direction of more lies.
Guys, right now, all you gotta do is look it up. Those guys are telling you the truth. They're telling you what happened. And yet people are still riding this tidal wave in like this, under this spell. And the tidal wave and the spell is that the very people that are doing all this, that are sending your sons, daughters, husband, wife to war, are the most evilest people. And you're expendable to these people. They only care that they survive. That's why they build these bunkers, these elaborate bunkers, and they're more elaborate than you think. There's so many classified things, and the people are like, well, I don't care. Then just go die now. Go kill yourself. Why wait till they do it? But I do understand that's a spell. The spell makes it to where you just give up for the weak-minded. However, I don't don't think that the majority of Americans here are weak-minded. And it seems like it's going to take something catastrophic, but my fear is that that'll be too late when that happens. Okay, that'll be too late. And I use the analogy like the Noah Ark type of situation where, you know, he was trying to warn people and invite people, but they was all partying without a care in the world, did not hear anything until it was too late. And then once the floods washed them away, you know, that's when all the screaming, that's when all the laughing, the clowning, all that, that's when, because people are like, well, I don't care. It's like, look, okay, that's you, well, go die somewhere. But you say you don't care, you want to take everybody else with you. Because if you have millions and millions and millions of I don't care, that's exactly what's happening. And then we have these politicians globally, governments globally, that swoop in and do whatever they want because you don't fucking care. Look, man, once I've seen, like I said, World War II, when the OSS, which is the US CIA today, was supposed to be dissolved, gone, after World War II, but they decided not to go. And they still ran intelligence as a shadow intelligence, still collecting surveillance, still surveilling people, and then turned it on surveillance on the politicians because, you see, you know, you have to go back to your history and know that World War II, you had government working with the mafia. No one is. But, again, it goes so much deeper, World War II, so much deeper. And I'm not going to get into it on this session here. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that the end is imminent, and only we can stop what's coming. The only way we can stop it is by everybody waking up, and we have to be one huge, gigantic voice and wait. And they will go fucking scurry and hide in their fucking cages, their little bunkers, the caves. Okay? The problem is they're seeing these spikes in people that are awakening. And that has become a problem because these people that are awakening, they just say the truth, and the truth is undeniable. I mean, you can't throw some pretend shit at the truth. You can't go around the truth. It can't be moved. And that's their greatest fear. Oh my God, if these people come together, we're done. So instead of them just, hey, let's do right by the people, they double down. We have to do more things. We have to start a war. We have to have more surveillance. We have to fearmonger. The complete opposite of what they should be doing, and people are just complying with it. This is extremely troubling, and you know, so next session, I don't know.
Yes, and all you have to do is just look it up yourself. Look at all the scientists that have been eliminated, silenced, that was providing free energy and prosperity for the masses. And the government swoops in, confiscates everything, and the corporations make us pay for it like slaves.